I always talk about foundation, my 5 pillars. The foundation of your life, let's say 1 to 21, or from birth to 21 years old. Then we got mastery, your career, your profession. Hopefully you get it through the mastery. Then the 3rd pillar, you get through to transformation. That's when you really start growing. You find your purpose. You find what you really want to do. In other words, your passion, your purpose. And that's where a lot of your legacy work starts, in transformation. That's when you really start making things happen for yourself. And so my 4th pillar I call independence, the freedom and the independence. Once you have the foundation, once you realize your coaches, your family, and the 10 Commandments, and your faith, and so on. And then what happens? You develop that independence. You develop that freedom to make your own decisions and speak your own truth. And then when you get my age, as you can see, you start realizing how important your legacy is. And what's your legacy? Your children, your family, your career. Is it important to you? It's important to me. My health, my wealth that I created over the years, I'm just going to pass it all on to foundations and charities, my grandkids, my children. Why? Because my parents gave me an opportunity. But I worked hard for it too. So as they say, the road less traveled. What's your road? God bless you, man. And that's why I'm here in Minneapolis-St. Paul, my hometown. Why? To start spreading my wealth and my ideas of what I work so hard for, to help my kids, to help my families, my leadership, the wisdom that God gave me, the opportunity, the purpose to hopefully be a person of integrity. That's what's important, man. And I've always felt that walking the cemetery, it's quiet, it's beautiful, and you see all these monuments and these markers. Everyone's got a story. And the more, as I get older, you always know some of the families, and you have respect for these people because they lived it. It's not easy, man. So as I get older, I'm going through another transformation and a transition. Where? To retirement. And realizing that, as my father would say, everything comes to an end, including life. So it hasn't been easy, So I thought I'd just talk about, while I'm here, what I really think about. And I'm a strategist, so I've always had a business mind, a business aptitude. I always was ambitious, and I realized that there's no easy way of doing everything. And that's why it's so important to reflect on your past, on your grandparents. I was lucky. I was one of 11 kids. So we had a work ethic. My parents weren't formally educated. They were just self-educated. Work hard, entrepreneurial, do the right thing. Conduct was more important than grades in school to my father. And it was always the right side of the report card that was the key. My father would fold it. And the left side, where you have your subjects and your grades, A, B, C, D, or F. Some of them were pass or no pass. And the conduct was in your behavior, in your friendships, in your development, your friendships, were on the right side. So I remember my dad would be sitting there and you would walk up to him and say, Dad, here's my report card. And he would fold it right in half. He didn't look at the grades. He looked at how well you treated family. That's what he did. My mother didn't look at it because my dad handled all the discipline. The late 40s, and 19 years later, my younger brother was born. So 8 boys, 3 girls, and it was always about conduct, how well you treated people, what your reputation was as a worker. And our farm was basically a printing company. And so we all eventually worked there during high school. Actually, we started very young. On the weekends, if my dad, printers needed help, we got to know these printers. And my dad was the production manager, so they treated us like gold. You know why? There's always respect. And they respected my father. My father started out as a pressman. Then he became the production manager. Then he became the general manager. Then he became the president. Then he became the CEO. Then he became the owner. About a 40-year journey, hard work, 11 kids, and everything was investment. We're talking about blue collar, self-educated. And the thing that my father and my mother gave me that I could talk about today is opportunity. That's what my father gave all 11 of us. But if you didn't listen, if you didn't take his advice, which not all of us did, what happens? There's a consequence. And the beauty of this is I'm 71 years old. I'll be 72. My dad will be 100 in a few months. We're all alive. My mother passed away at 94 with no diseases. What a life. 74 years of marriage and stuck it out. My dad had a saying, bound to pay. Yep. Stick and stay is bound to pay. So this is just a walk through history. Notice how quiet it is. The Mississippi is right down, right below us. My brother had a lot for him and his wife earlier in life, and he said he picked the lot that overlooked the Mississippi River, and there it is. You see it through the bushes? Well, guess what? Our family now is all together. My dad had a vision, and his father gave him the vision of, I would like to be buried at the cemetery, this Catholic cemetery, when I pass. Well, guess what? My grandfather passed. He was in his 80s. And he died at the kitchen table after playing hours and hours of pinochle and hearts and cards with my father and my uncles and my brothers. They were all older than me. And they all left. In the morning, he had breakfast. My grandmother made breakfast for him. And he had a massive heart attack at the kitchen table. Boy, what a life, huh? Immigrated from Italy in the early 1900s to Chicago. My father's first generation Italian. My mother, first generation Polish. Yeah. So when I come to Minneapolis, my first stop is to see my mother and my aunts and uncles. My father bought a plot that included the whole family back in the late 70s. And he would say, first come, first serve. That's my father. First come, first serve. And all 11 of us are still here. Isn't that amazing? So that's my little thought process. And this weekend is a big weekend for me because I'm going to start talking to my sons about my estate plan and my wishes because, number one, I trust them. Number two, they're competent. I like them. They're smart. They have 4 of my grandchildren of the total of 4. And now they are stewards, just like I was a steward for my father and my family, being in business with my father. So that's it. So I know it's kind of weird to have a walkthrough of a cemetery, but there's a reason. It's my thought process. And that's what I'm giving back to my grandchildren. Part of my legacy of our last name. And my parents fought real hard to keep our family together, which they have done. So I'm really proud of that. So this is it. This is my walkthrough of visiting my mother. I'll be seeing my father later, my kids, my nephews and nieces, and their grandchildren, my brothers and sisters. Play sports. I love sports. I watch them developing because that's what I saw with my kids. They all played sports. And you know what sports is? It's teamwork. It's team development. It's competition. It's coaches. It's leadership. They saw all that. And they're still doing it. And now it's their turn. And now it's my turn to pass it on. My philosophies, my values. And that's why I'm on YouTube, so my grandkids hear my voice and say, Papa Rock. Papa Rock was a character, but he was a good man. That's all I care about. So God bless you guys. I'm going to check out here as soon as I get under a shade so I know what the hell I'm doing. And it was fun. I'm glad my brother changed his mind because Riverfront, he paid too much. You know what I mean? God bless everybody.